It's hard not to talk about my relationship with Big Brothers Big Sisters, ironically, without starting with my mom. As a single mom in St. Louis, raising two kids on her own, making sure that we had opportunities and access that she didn't have growing up. She started seeking out um, avenues for my sister and I to do better, to have better, to be better, to think better. Um, and she came across a gentleman that she looked up to at work. She later found out was a big brother through the Big Brothers Big Sisters organization. And she thought, gosh, he could be such a bright light for my son. I wonder if he would be interested in taking him on as a cause to some extent. I saw this Black man who had this amazing house, who had this managerial job at a pretty big company. And that was so foreign to me in the environment that I was growing up in. And when I first interacted with him, it was at his house. It was the first time I saw a computer actually at someone's home. It's when I really got my curiosity for what else is out there in the world. Thinking about, gosh, what else could life be for me? It made me kind of think, if he could do it, I could do it. And I'll never forget that memory. It was probably the biggest, the biggest moment in my life. I got inspired in a way that I never thought I would get inspired. In a relationship that we had through Big Brothers Big Sisters. So I'm indelibly indebted to David, but also the organization for having a program for kids like me that would actually make literally have an impact on our life and make it go in a completely different direction. I think, gosh, sometimes I want to go back to those days, but I realize that I can actually relive those days by giving that to a kid today and doing what he did for me with them. Okay, so Jamil used to consider my car a spaceship. And so when he talks about our relationship, out of the myriad of things that we did, he would tell you that his fondest memory was being able to drive around the car and allowing him to scream things in the car for the car to turn on the music or to change the radio station or to give us directions to the next place we were going to. If that's all you want to do is just ride around the car and push buttons and play with screens in the car. And he's like, yeah, what we give as bigs is not very much from our perspective. From the kids' perspective, it's everything. Another voice, another counselor, another friend, another pal, another set of ears to listen. But what I love about it is that it's equally as much of a gift back to you as it is to a gift that you're giving to them. And there's something very rewarding about that. What I love about this past year, it's taught us to pivot in ways that we never thought we had to. It challenged us to think about our models, our programs, our interactions in a very different way. How do we reimagine? How do we rethink how we support, how we show up, the programs that we put in place? Think about change. And it actually sparks the inspiration for a new tomorrow. We've got a board of highly, highly engaged folks who are looking at wanting to make a difference. Super excited about the changes that we'll make, inspired by things that we're motivated to do differently as a result of what we went through in 2020.